Namaste Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. सचिवन को तो सेट किए हैं कुछ अलग अलग ग्रुप में. अच्छा अच्छा ओके ओके. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome all of you for our second session of the life lessons from the Gita. So we have been discussing some themes from the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So we are not going chapter wise, but we are just taking some themes. This could contain, each of the theme could contain from the different chapters. This is volume audible, Prabhuji there? No? Prabhuji, can you increase the volume? So today, primarily we will be starting from chapter 2 and also from some other chapters as well. Yes, we are very indebted to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this transcendental message in a simple, sublime way so that all of us can understand. Last time, as we were discussing with some devotees after the program, some devotees were discussing that, all these Vedas, Upanishads, all our scriptures, everything is written in Sanskrit. And now we don't have any idea what exactly all this script is all about. How will you know all this? So I'll just tell you a quick anecdote. So this happened around 58 years back in the USA. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So he traveled from India in a cargo ship, and he went to this place called Butler, Pennsylvania, and then he went to New York, and then his disciples started inviting him to the various places in America. And then he went to a place called Boston, and So one fine day, Prabhupada was going for a morning walk. And as he was going, along with his disciples following him, suddenly they found that one unkempt, dirty person. He really jumped from a bush. And all the devotees, they said, "Go away, go away, go away." But then this person was a hippie without any sense of clothing or what he was eating or what he was drinking. And somehow or other he jumped and touched the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. And then somehow all the disciples, they kept him away. And after a while, the Prabhupada and along with his disciples, they came back to the temple. And as they came to the temple, they saw that the door is already open, and somehow they entered. And as soon as Prabhupada entered the room once again, this hippie once again jumped in front of Srila Prabhupada. And he was just catching hold of his lotus feet and he was not leaving him. And then Prabhupada just, put his hand on top of his head and said, "All right, my boy, all right, all right, all right." And Prabhupada went ahead, and all the disciples, they were thinking what to do with this person now. Somehow, Prabhupada blessed him, but he's thinking, he's not in right shape to, make him enter inside our temple hall. What to do? So they took him and to the bathroom, and they really asked him to bath. They really shaved his head, So somehow they changed his external appearance, as he was also sitting along with others, and he heard it, but though still his internal vasanas were really coming out, but the devotees tolerated him because they thought that, oh, Prabhupada has blessed him, we should not leave him alone. And just a matter of time, Prabhupada left to another place. And this person, right, he was coming again and again, and sometimes he would, lie down on the hallway. Sometimes he would be sleeping on the temple. And the devotees were thinking what to do. And they wrote a letter to Prabhupada. "Prabhupada, you remember, this person had come and he was such an eccentric fellow, and we don't know how to go ahead with this." And then Prabhupada said, "Just tolerate. Right? Just tolerate. He has my blessing, and definitely he will grow nicely." And the devotees were saying that just after a couple of years, they found him. He became one of the foremost scholar of our tradition. His name was Krushakrita Prabhu. He was initiated by Srila Prabhupada. He translated so many Sanskrit books to English. He translated so many Bengali scriptures to English. It is just a matter of time. Yes, this kind of stories we hear and again, how just by the touch, by the mercy of the devotee, Ati Nicha Uchatakara, a hippie can become happy. A downtrodden, uncivilized person can become a topmost Vaishnava. Yes, we might not understand so much of the literature, of the language, of the grammar, but then once you have the sincere desire, Lord will fulfill it. But we have to have that sincere desire. We need to have that determination. And there's one more pastime. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was traveling South India, and then he came to a place called Srirangam. How many of you been to Srirangam? One of the largest temple of India, Srirangam. Yes, Ranganath Swami temple is there. And during Chaturmasya, he was staying in Srirangam. And as he was doing parikrama, one day he saw that there is one person who is studying Bhagavad Gita. But then, lot of people there, a lot of pandits, they were ridiculing him, joking him, kidding him. Right? Oh, what kind of person you are? You don't know how to pronounce Sanskrit. They were just kidding him. But then one Mahaprabhu was passing by. He saw that this person has tears in his eyes. And the Mahaprabhu asked, "O saint, I see that you are studying Bhagavad Gita. And I see that tears coming from his eyes. What you have really understood from Bhagavad Gita?" And this gentleman, right, who is illiterate in Sanskrit, just trying to read, he said, "विप्र कहे मूर्ख आमी शब्दार्थ न जानी, शुद्ध शुद्ध गीता पढ़ी गुरु आज्ञा मानी." Oh Lord, I don't know this Bhagavad Gita. I'm murkha, I'm illiterate, I'm a fool. Sabdartha Nayani. I don't understand the meanings of all these words of the scriptures. Suddha Gita Padi. Somehow or other, my spiritual master has told, Guru Agya Mani, my spiritual master told that you should read Bhagavad Gita. And I'm just making an attempt to understand this Bhagavad Gita in a pure and impure way. But just by following it, I have understood this much, that Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna is a Partha Sarathi. What is Partha Sarathi? Partha is Arjuna. He is his dear friend, also his dear servant. And how come the Supreme Lord, who is Akhila Rasamrita Murti, Akhila Brahmanda Nayaka, he is just working as a chariot driver of his dear friend and his dear devotee. Just by hearing this, just by seeing this picture that is there in this front of this Bhagavad Gita, that is really melting my heart. Yes, what is really important is to understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The essence is that how the Supreme Lord, he is bound by the love of his devotees and he can do anything for his devotees. And that is what the Lord is saying. What is a servant leader? Right? Yes. We might not understand the Sanskrit. We might not understand so many jargons initially, right? Because that's the most often question that initially people ask. Oh, I don't know this. I don't know Sanskrit. How can I really understand? Lord is saying, what is the qualification that is required to understand Bhagavad Gita? Sa ipayam maya tedye yoga prakta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Yes, it is rahasya. It is very confidential. It is very secret. At the same time, it is there available in the book. Just by reading this book, we cannot understand. One needs to be a devotee of the Lord. One needs to be a friend of the Lord, well-wisher of the Lord. Then only we can understand the meaning, the essence of this book. One time, there was one person, he went to a saint. He asked, "Oh saint, I have heard that you have jewels of wisdom from the ocean of scriptures. Could you please share something with me?" And the saint said, "Yes, I can share with you. But you don't have enough money to buy these jewels." Then you might ask, "Can you give me in free?" "Yes, I can give you in free, but you will not be able to appreciate it." Right? To understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we don't need any kind of an artha. What we really need is our lobha. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kriyate yadi kutopi labhyate tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janmu kodi sukrutir na labhyate. Rupa Goswami, he is saying that how can you really understand this essence of the scriptures, the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati. How do you get the consciousness? What exactly Krishna is trying to tell? Yes, if somehow you get it, you just buy it, because you will not get it. This is so durlabha. This is so rare, so precious. We should be hankering for it. The only price is that there is a hankering. Because otherwise there is no cost that we can really pay to get this essence of Bhagavad Gita. What is really required is the only one thing. That's our hankering. One time Srila Prabhupada, like Prabhupada is a walking, living encyclopedia. Always devotees would be walking around with him. So another day, Prabhupada was going for a morning walk, and as the devotees, they would be wrapping up this morning walk, and Prabhupada was entering inside the car to come back to the temple. And during this morning walks, a lot of his disciples, they would ask very nice questions. There would be nice conversations. But there was one disciple, he was just standing in the back. He was thinking, oh, I have to also ask some questions. And this devotee, somehow, as Prabhupada was entering in the car, he started running, and he said, Prabhupada, I have one question for you. Tell me, what do you want? Prabhupada said, how can I be Krishna consciousness? How can I really understand Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada just answered with one word. Now, what is that one word? Desire. Once we have the strong desire that yes, there is a raining or there is a shining, whatever it is, whether there is some, so many other reasons to go so many places, but yes, I have a desire to understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. I would really like to understand how can I really apply these principles of Bhagavad Gita in my life. We have so many questions that nobody has really answered. How can you really get the essence of that? This is what the desire we should have. Right? And once we have the desire, Lord will show us the path. Yes. And Lord will show us the right medicine store, right medicine. Because sometimes we also try, let me read any book, let me go to any Baba. No. Last time we discussed. What do we discuss? What is the process of learning? Anybody remembers? What is the process? Like in a student, how he learns? ABCD. Yes, ABCD. But how do you learn ABCD? Yeah. Yes, Guru and Shastra and Sadhu. Yes, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. A student, how he learns? He goes to an university, he studies some books along with some students, along with some teachers. Right? So similarly, yes, we also understand this science of spirituality through some book as a reference, and it has to be understood from a teacher who has understood the conclusion of the scriptures, who is obeying the scriptures, who is occupied really in following those scriptures, and who liberates others with the words of the scriptures. That's why it's said, Guru is a cool person. He understands the conclusion. He's always occupying himself. He observes these principles and he liberates others. And then sadhus. Last time we discussed what are the symptoms of a sadhu. Sadhu is not that somebody wearing some types of dress, some types of tilak. Right? No, sadhu is the one. Once again, sadhu is known by his qualities. And just like a soldier is known by the kind of medals that he is wearing. That's a bhushana, sadhu bhushana. Similarly, sadhu is known by his qualities. Titikshava karunika. Right? Like last time we discussed about it. Yes, in the association of the devotees, that's what we discussed last time. That yes, there should be purpose of life. Anything else that you remember from the last time? Anybody remembers? Any other points? Yes? What are the points you remember, or for your reference, we even said the summary as well. How many of you see the summary or just a revised couple of minutes? What we discussed last time after you went back? Is there anyone? Oh, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Yes. What? Anything that you remember that you discussed last time? Yes, sir. Sundar Pro. Yes. Difference between animal and human. Yes. Human beings, they are not just a sophisticated animal, but they have some purpose. They have that ability to inquire. They want to be remain in bliss. They have the choice that animal they don't have. They have that higher intelligence to understand what is good and what is bad. Yes. Any other thoughts? Yes. 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 Absolutely. See, this is such a golden statement. Thank you for reminding. Because yes, as long as we are in this material world, because this material world is defined as a dukkhalayam. Uh, like if you just enter, I don't know how many of you have been to any salt mine or coal mines. If you go to coal mine, is there any possibility that once you enter, you will not be, you'll come as it is? You'll covered with all the darts and all the blacks and so on. Similarly, this material world is designed as the place of misery, right? But this place of misery is this is a place of hospital, where we kind of come to get cured. Right? And yes, the problems are bound to come. Once you go to the college, there are bound to be some exams. Is there any school or university there is no exam? Then the kids have to be thinking, why parents are torturing me so much while I have to go through so much exams? No, once you go through the exams means I am really practicing, I'm learning, I'm examining myself. Am I really getting better or not? The exams are the problems in the life that really come to us so that we can grow, we can learn and grow. And yes, in our schools and universities, first we learn and then we get the test. But in the life, sometimes first we go through the exams and then we learn from that exam. We learn from the lessons of the life. We just reflect, oh, why it happened so? Oh, definitely there is an arrangement of the Lord. Right? Yes, we need to understand the purpose behind that problem. Once you understand the problem, the purpose behind or the meaning behind that pain, then you understand, oh, that was so wonderful. Like in a project, you are working in such a complicated and challenging project. Yes, if you think that, oh, why it has given to me, why this is a problematic project has been given to me. But then an intelligent person, right, what is it? Oh, thanks to my manager or the management, they have given me this problem. Now it's an opportunity for me to learn, upskill and relearn and really grow my career and make myself visible, isn't it? Yes, if you want to be like a sun, then first you have to burn like a sun. Yes, it is. If you want to understand and you want to be godly, right? You want to be divine, you have to understand what it exactly really means to go through this. But you have to follow the process. Yes, thank you for reminding that. Anybody else? Any other points?
Very, very nice point you said, sir. If you want to shine like sun, first burn like sun.
Yes, we have to go. But then, once the morning comes, once the austerity comes or problem comes, then you say, oh, the first question we ask that, why me? Why I am suffering? Bhagwan, मेरे को ही problem क्यों देता है? क्यों देता है? Because of this person, because of the spouse, because of the manager, because of this, that, हर तरफ से अंगूठी घुमाते हैं. You have seen that? Problem इधर से आता है, उधर problem. But when something good happens, what happens? Where the finger goes? Yes, yes. It's me. Life is all about blame game or claim game. We blame someone or we claim victory. At that point of time, when there is a success, we forget that why actually it has come to us. But then the real goal, what should be the real aim, is to really understand the meaning behind it. That how there could be so many instruments who are really helping in growing. Any other thoughts before we proceed? Yes, I would request you, right? That's what we say, the difference between a student or a participant and a sincere student or sincere participant is that, once you go back home, you really just revise it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just making it easier for you so that you don't have to use any chat GPT or anything else. Just giving a summary, right? And you can discuss it. You can discuss it with our friends, with our family members. Oh, this is what we understood. How can you really apply these principles in our life? Okay, so in the second chapter, and the end of the first chapter also, we see that how Arjuna becomes confused. He doesn't know what is right, what is wrong. And he has so many ways he feels it is right. And he is suffering at this point of time. Yes, it's the same state that most of the people are. They're so confused. Last time we discussed about it. That's why they write some quotes in the deserts. Don't disturb me because I'm already disturbed. right? There is so much of this mental, problems. People are suffering so much. But most of the people, why do they suffer? Is it because, first of all, what is really suffering? What is suffering? What is suffering? It's a pain. It means that you get what you don't want and you don't get what you want. हमको जो चाहिए वो मिलता नहीं है और मिलता है जो चाहते नहीं है. वही सफरिंग है, वही पेन है. एंड गर्मी के दिन हमको है ना ठंडी चाहिए, ठंडी के दिन हमको गर्मी चाहिए. But we don't understand that there is a rule, there is a governance, there is a process, right? And then we really suffer out of it. So the first thing is that ignorance. We suffer because of our ignorance. The kid, they really try to touch their fingers in a fen. It is ignorance. Or we suffer because of ahamkar. Yes, that is the best car that everybody is having. What is that car? Yes, BMW. Yes, ahamkar. Yes. Aham and mama. Yeah. This belongs to me. This is mine. And if something is connected to mine, this has to be the best. Always. And then the attachment. More and more and more. Dil mange more. Last time we saw that monkey. Right? And the other one is anusuya. Anusuya means enviousness. Yes. Yes. Anasuya means enviousness. Na asuya. Asuya means enviousness. So it's comparison. ठीक है. हमारे लिए हमारे पास नहीं है तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन उनके घर पे नहीं होना चाहिए, मेरे भाई के पास नहीं होना चाहिए. मेरे बच्चे का कम मार्क है कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन दूसरे का बच्चा का he should not get more than 98%. Right? The comparison. Right? Yes. Our acharyas have really summarized. These are the 4 primary causes of suffering. But then, how do we really get out of the ignorance? Because most of the times, the problem that we have is that usually in the all the devotees, we go around for distributing books, for distributing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. The most common answer that we get is, I know Bhagavad Gita, I know Krishna, I know this story, I know that story. I already know this. Especially India mein to, if you ask anyone about politics or cricket or religion, everybody has some answer. Right? But then, we should really learn from Arjuna. Yes, Arjuna also was thinking that I know so many ways. Oh, all the people will get killed and then we will suffer, will kind of incur sins. Oh, all the husbands will be, all the male population will be gone, and all the females, they will have a kind of Varna Sankara population. He was giving so many bona fide reasons. But then, right, he was really confused. What should I do? At the same time, yes, we are all in the battlefield at that point of time. This is a very beautiful sloka that he is really offering it to Lord Krishna. Till this point of time, he was thinking that, oh, Krishna is my friend. And in this sloka from 2.7, he's saying that, oh, Krishna, I no longer consider you as my friend. Now I am your Shishya and you are my Guru. Karpanya doso pahato svabhava pruchhami dharma samudha chetam yasreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme Sishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Sishya, I want to become a Sishya. Sadhimam, please discipline me. Please tell me what is right and wrong. I am dharma samudha cheta. My consciousness is dharma samudha. I don't know what is right or what is wrong. And yes, Shreyasyan. Shreya, what is a Shreya? What is the most important one? What is the most auspicious one? You please tell me. This is the quality. So that's why we say that the most important quality of a student is to really take shelter of a spiritual master. Otherwise, this is the most dangerous stumbling block on the path, even with material knowledge. Forget about the spiritual knowledge. What is the three words? I know this. If you already go somewhere, no, I know Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I know the scriptures. I already know what is really happening. There is no room for us to accept it. So that's why whenever we come here, we request everybody, please open your heart, please open your mind. Don't keep it closed. You should ask questions. Right? We should ask questions. Like you see all our scriptures as compared to any other Abrahamic religions or the scriptures, right? You talk about any scripture like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these scriptures, and it's all questions and answers. Question and answer. We should ask questions. We should ask questions. Whatever the questions you might have, but the questions should be not that, like, okay, how will I get promotion? How will I kind of get my next job? That I might not be able to kind of tell you, right? Or what is the kind of best perfume that I should use, right? But then the question should be, how can I really progress in my consciousness? How can I really progress in my spirituality? Right? So yes, how can we keep our body, mind, and soul together? Right? This is what we are doing in this yoga center. Yoga center, yes, we have to keep our body fit. We are so grateful to our dear Krishna Prabhu who has given us this facility. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So who is taking care of nicely these three elements of our body. Yes, this is what it is. We should really approach a spiritual master who knows the truth. With the three characteristics, with humility, thinking that, oh Lord, oh Acharya, please tell me, what should I do? And with that inquisitiveness, I don't know this. I don't know who am I and how will I really get delivered. Can you please tell me how can I be free from the sufferings? And then we should serve the Acharyas. There could be so many ways. Because yes, sometimes we might read so many things, but unless we serve Acharyas, unless we serve them with our humble heart, nothing really goes inside. Yes. Another important principle that Krishna is showing, right? We heard what exactly Arjuna did. He surrendered to Krishna as a spiritual master. Right? But then let's learn from Krishna. What is he doing? So fast, he has really invested so much on Arjuna. Before correcting, we have to connect. Before communicating, we have to connect with someone. Because if you have not invested in a relationship, we cannot correct someone. He'll not be ready to accept it. That's the quality of a leader. That's the quality of a parent. That's the quality of a manager. That how fast he has to invest on that relationship. Fast he has to try to understand what exactly other person is trying to say, rather than trying to be understood. This is a very, very important principle, right, in our relationship that Krishna is telling in this beginning of the second chapter, right? So as you can see, there are so many lessons, practical living principles that we can really apply, right, from Bhagavad Gita. That how Krishna is, and so he invites so much. What he used to do, that during the battlefield when there would be war going on, right, he would be really taking care of the horses of Arjuna's chariot. He would be serving so much. Yudhishthira Maharaj in the Rajasuya Yajna, he said, okay, the best service I want to do is I want to kind of, the Pada Prakshalana of all the guests. Whenever there is a need, Krishna is always there. He has invested so much in that relationship, and now when Arjuna is confused and he wants some answer, right? Yes, he is correcting him. But before correcting him, he is ensured that he has really invested in that relationship so much. Yes, Arjuna, he's a pure devotee of the Lord. He was not confused at any point of time. But Lord has created this situation so that we can learn from the life of Arjuna, from this message of Bhagavad Gita. And our Acharya is saying that sometimes we can learn a lot of things from the Sasu Bahu story also, right? Sometimes a Bahu, he really goes inside a mother-in-law's house, because mother-in-law has not invested so much in that relationship. with that bahu, and if ideally, what the sasu should do, and usually what the, if she has a daughter, she will say, "Oh, कामिनी तेरे को पता नहीं है, हमारे घर पे ऐसे होता है." ना, she would tell to her daughter, not to daughter-in-law. But the इशारा कहाँ पे है? बहू के ऊपर है. Right? Yes, because he has already invested in that relationship, right? As a daughter and a mother, she would tell the daughter that हमारे घर पे ऐसे होता है, and then she would kind of tell, right, her with a kind of an indication. Similarly, the Lord will not come and chastise us. We cannot tolerate it. And the way Lord Krishna was chastising Arjuna, right? We will not tolerate. Oh, ऐसे मेरे को बोल दिया, ऐसे ना गुरुजी हमको ऐसे क्यों बोल दिए? Not be able to tolerate so much. And because of that, what is really happening? Yeah. Lord is instructing all the living entities through Arjuna. Yes. So yes, it is very important that we should really first connect with the members that we are trying to say. Because see, like all the relationship problem that is really happening all over the world, right? If you just learn this much, problem solved. Right. Hare Krishna. Okay. So now, next question, very important question. And as we progress in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and then, yes, it is coming from the Mahabharata. We hear that Sanjay Uvacha, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha, and finally there is some word comes. What? Bhagavan Uvacha. अरे भगवान किधर से आ गए भाई? थोड़ा सा साइंस के बात करो, ये टेक्नोलॉजी के बात करो, शस्त्र के ऊपर बात करो. नहीं, भगवान कहाँ से लेके आ गए आप? हु इज दिस भगवान? भगवान सही में कोई है क्या? है ना? किसने देखा है? कोई ने, किसी ने भगवान को देखा है? Why should you really believe in the Lord? That's the usual question. We should believe in the science, isn't it? That's the most important things that we really people ask. We should believe on the facts and the science. Yes, he is the greatest scientist. Yes, so that's why but somehow or other, if somebody really believe in Lord, how many of you at least believe in the God? Definitely because of you attending this Gita course, right? Yes, it is. You have some faith. But why do you believe in God? Okay, somebody might say that, oh, because when I was jobless, once I prayed to Balaji, I offered a coconut, next day I got a job. Right? Or I was not getting married, मेरे को marriage के बाद क्या हो, that's a different thing. But I got married. Right? Yes, all my friends, neighbors, they go to Ganpati Bappa Moria, Moria, everybody does it. I want to do that. But I don't know. Everybody is feeding milk to Ganeshji. I also feeding milk. You have heard that? Yes, some years back. Yes. And somehow, if I don't do something, मेरे पापा बोलते हैं कि ना थोड़ा दिया लगाओ. If I don't do it, my parents or grandparents will be unhappy. So I do it for them. All of us belong to this category? No? Okay. So why? Yes, please. Yes. 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 Very good. Like the science and technology, right? Science, is a study of matter, and spirituality is a study of what matters. Right? And the process, the experiments, the tools that we use for each of their study is different, and we'll discuss that. But before going that, because we want to understand this Bhagavad Gita analytically, logically, right? So let's kind of go through a little bit more scientifically today. So now some question, okay? Now there's a quiz. Yes, either you have learned maybe 30 years back, 40 years back, or you might have taught your kids some time back. So please raise your hand. Who invented telephone? Graham Bell. Okay. And who invented telescope? Very good. All are intelligent students. Yes. And who invented steam engine? James Watt. Very good. Yes. Thank you very much. And who invented bulb? Wow, yes. We give a lot of examples, right? How Thomas Edison, like mother, we talk about the parenting of Alva Edison. Right? We'll discuss that in our parenting seminar. Okay, now this question carries $1,000,000. Who created solar system? Okay. No,
Bhagwan.
right? भगवान क्यों लेके आ जाते हैं आप? है ना? Right? Because you say that something, some creation means there is a creator, right? Once you got a mobile phone, but somebody created mobile phone. Huh? But then, once you talk about Srushti, right? We say there is no Srushti Karta. Huh? There is no creator only. Oh, it just happened by chance. Have you heard that theory? How?
Discovery of by chance.
Big Bang. Once upon a time, yes, I was there, you know, near this Bob Lincoln in our office, right? There's a big, big, very huge, scientific institute is there. Yes, they are doing that research for now decades, trying to understand the God particle, right? Which is really that okay, how with the infinite temperature, pressure, density, and all that at one fine day, right? All happened through some supernatural power, but they don't call that, that is God. That's a different thing, right? Right. Yes, right. They say that, oh, right, there was some ingredients, all of that put together, and there was a big bang, and whole this universe started. Right? Have you heard that story? Yes, it's a story. Right? Or like some say that, okay, there are so many letters that were kind of thrown apart in the room, right? And then monkey came and he jumbled together and he made, that Shakespeare's Iliad or anything like that. Can he compose like that? Right? Or you can put some cement bags, some gravel, some stones, and put together, and you put a dynamite, boom, and then a big skyscraper comes in just a second. Does it happen like that? Right? Right? Yes. So once you really talk about right this complicated machine, you see these complicated machines. Just a second. Okay, I don't know what this volume is not coming.
Human body is most
Yes.
complicated.
Yes. Yes, okay. We'll be using this sound system. It's okay. So some of you might realize that how at a micro level and a macro level, there are so many sophistications are there. We don't know what is really happening in our body, and we're trying to understand the whole cosmos. Right? How finitely, how systematically, how orderly, things were working in our body. Who has designed all this? Who has designed all this? Like you see that each of the uh, right aspect in this creation, right? We saw about the okay, there is some rule, right, on the traffic. Means okay, there is a some government who has kind of created a law, but who has created the law that that there should be different seasons? Every day sun should rise at certain time. There should be certain seasons, and there should be a specific distance between the different planets. If the earth would have been a bit closer or a bit far, we would not have survived. Who has designed all this? Can a child really go to just come from the outside and see the room? Oh, it is nicely kept, right? There's a glass of milk, and there is a nice bed with the right room temperature. It's already that. And can the child think that oh, it all just happened by chance? Who has done it? Mother. Right? For us, we call it Mother Nature, right? But then if Mother Nature is there, then must be a father also. But we don't accept that. Yes, So it's not that big bang, but there is a big brain that is really involved. Who has designed it for all the designs, and who has really created that law, right? At a micro level and a macro level, right? Yes. There's one more thing. You must have seen this kind of an impressions everywhere, right?
1280, a man named Leonard Pisano better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21. The sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the
Hare
long
Krishna.
and smiling galaxy.
So, what you really understood? What you really understood? That this pattern is there. It's called Fibonacci series. Now we find it everywhere. Okay. In the micro level, macro level, with fruits, with flowers. But who has designed that pattern? Who has designed that pattern which is there everywhere? Who has designed it? That's what we call as a, that is the fingerprint of the Lord. If somebody wants to say, where is the Lord? And Lord has kept his fingerprint everywhere. In all the aspects of the creations. Yes. So we might not be able to see the God, but we can see the cause. Right? If there is a fire, we can see that, oh, somebody has lighted the fire. We see the creation, then there is a creator. We see there's some design, there must be a designer. If we see there is some law, there must be a lawmaker. Right? We can understand the effect from the cause to start with. And then, right, as we are discussing, there are different experiments, there are different processes required for different aspects of the science. Right? In the physics, at basic level, at 11th, what do you use to measure? Right? So a vernier caliper or a scale. For chemistry, what do you use to understand is it acid or basic? Use kind of do a litmus paper. In biology, what do you use to understand the xylem, phloem, and all these particles? You use a microscope. And for spiritual science, is there any instruments? Is there any tools? Is there, like, one thing is that, can you really use that biology instrument? Can you really use that for physics? Can you do a litmus test to understand the scale, how long it is? So if we cannot understand by using one aspect of science, to measure other aspect, how can you really say that, oh, I want to measure the length and breadth of the God? Is it possible? Yes. We need to really understand that, there are certain principles are required. You have to follow certain principles. It is not some blind faith, but what is really, we really need to understand the science behind it. That's why our Srila Prabhupada, he has named this the book called Science of Devotional Service. Science of Bhakti. Because why it's called science? Because if you follow the process, you'll get a desired output. That is proven. And it can be repetitive. That's what we call as science. Right? Yes. One time somebody was saying that, there is no God, this, that. And usually in the barber shop, you find that, that a lot of discussion really happens. So similarly, there was some discussion happening. The customer, he was saying that, oh, buddy, do you know that? People talk about this and that. Is there really any God? Right? And this is the same question, right? Like, especially the barber was telling that customer, there is no God. After a certain point of time, the customer went out, and the customer found that there was one person with big hairs everywhere. And then he came back to the barber. He said that, do you know, in our city there is no even one barber. And his barber said, did you realize? Have you gone really mad? I just saved you. I really kind of trimmed your hair and head. But if there is a barber, why this person is there suffering? Why this person is having so much of long hairs? And the barber said, because he's not coming to me. That's why he's suffering. He's having so long hair. Right? Yes. Why people suffer? Yes. Because they don't understand the purpose. They don't really go to the Lord to ask that why I'm suffering. And is there any solution for that suffering? Yes. And then now, okay, we have really understood there is some higher energy, there's some higher power, some supernatural power. But somebody might ask, who is God? Who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan means like who does like this, right? And then we have a nice temple. Is Bhagavan like this, who really scores nicely? He's a God? Or is it that, who says, oh, Aja, who speaks nicely, who acts nicely, he's a God? Who is a God? Or somebody who has so much wealth, or somebody has a strength, somebody has a fame, somebody is so beautiful, somebody has so much knowledge, somebody has a very renunciation. Is that the quality of a God? Yes. These are all these peoples. Definitely, they have received a particle of that godliness, right? But all of them, they don't receive it. Once you talk about one person, right? Has he received the renunciation in full, and also other qualities as well, that wealth, knowledge, beauty, and everything? No. But then there is one person who has really all these 6 qualities, and in full. He is really God. Right? We cannot take anyone else as a Bhagavan. Right? One time there was a painting, and then one reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, is he your God? Prabhupada said, he is your God also. Right? God means he's a beautiful, and he's the source of all beauty. And another time, right? Srila Prabhupada, he's wherever he was going, it's like in a pilgrimage. He was going, he was really, he was landing in a big city in the US. All the devotees, they had come to receive him, right? And all the devotees, they were singing and dancing, and then Prabhupada came by, and all the devotees were so amazed. But then they also saw that, right? Okay, first all the air hostess went, and Prabhupada is really coming. But there was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, right? What he was doing, as the air hostess were going, his eyes were also following that air hostess. And little he realized that Swamiji was just in front of him and watching him. And then as soon as he realized that Prabhupada is in front of him, he was completely embarrassed what he was doing. And then Prabhupada told him, my dear boy, yes, Lord's creation is so beautiful. But do you understand how much beautiful the source of the creation would be? Right? Yes. A devotee really sees whatever is there in this world. Right? And the source is the Supreme Lord. Right? Yes, that's what it is called. Aishwaryasa samagrasya virya yashasya sriya jnana vairagyasya sannam bhoga itinganam. All these 6 opulence, whoever has this in full, he is Bhagavan. And whatever the a glance or the spark that we see everywhere, yes, all these celebrities and so on, so yes, they contain some particle, right? That's why, right, they are so famous, or they are so knowledgeable, or they are so wealthy and so on. Yes, and that's what Lord is saying. Yet that vibhuti mat sattvam, whoever has got some vibhuti means, they are like mama teja amsa sambhava. They are like my sparks, right? Yes. So who is God? God means, yes, who has all the 6 attributes. All this is Bhoga, Bhagavan, Dayavan. Daya means who has Daya. Bhoga means who has all the 6 Bhogos in full. That's why, God is called CEO. He's a controller, engineer, and owner. And he's also called, he's a God, G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer, right? Yes, there are so many ways we can really understand God. But then, okay, we understand there is God. We understand what is the qualities of a God. We cannot take anyone as a God, right? Any Baba, any this or that, right? Like one point of time, right? Like in the USA, Prabhupada would ask, who is the God of this week? A lot of people, they kind of proclaim themselves, oh, I am the God, right? But yes, nobody can become God. And Prabhupada said, cannot be even a dog, right? Nobody can claim to be a God. God means, he should possess this much, right? Like Krishna, right? He danced on Kaliya while all the hoods were really going around, so fast, and it was slippery, and it was not also in anxiety. His face also was not anxiety. He was smiling. He was, dancing so joyfully. That is the quality of a God, right? Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is what this Lord is all about. Okay, we understand God. Then, if God is the ultimate boss, is a person or energy? Right? That's what the question somebody might ask. Right? Somebody says, oh, he's an energy. He's all Brahman. He's just light. You have heard this? But then, what Bhagavad Gita says, what Bhagavatam says, that yes, there are different aspects of understanding the Lord. Vadanti tattvavida tattvajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabde. There are different aspects. Just like, right, once you see the mountain from very far, it looks green. But once you go closer, you see the trees. But once you go inside the forest, you find so many animals, so many insects. Okay? Similarly, once some nice sweet, and there is a Mysore Pak, comes here, then it's, oh, it looks, yellow, ice, you understand the sweet from the ice. Then it comes closer, you get the nice ghee fragrance, elaichi fragrance and all that, right? Your nose, eyes and nose both get, stimulated. But then you get the complete realization of the Mysore Pak by how? Only through eyes and only through nose. The perfect realization comes when you eat it. Similarly, yes, Lord has a different features, right? At the same time, we can get the complete understanding that how Lord's energy, which is really like Brahman, yes, Lord's energy is manifested. It's like in every atom as a Paramatma, and also, but the source of everything is a Bhagavan, right? Just like sun, we have a sun sign, we have a sun planet, and there's a sun god, right? Similarly. And at this next questions might ask that, oh, if there is one God, how about so many devatas everywhere? And how do you really understand that? Right? If Krishna is one, then who are the other devatas? Then you have to really understand from Arjuna once again. Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is saying 10.12 and 13. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Davam. Like he's saying, oh Lord, you are Param Brahma, you are Param Dhama. It's not me only saying because I'm your friend. Ahus Tamrasya Sarve Devarsi Naradas Tatha Asita Devalavyasa Swayam Chaiva Brahvisi Me. It's not me, there are so many saints. You can understand somebody as the Supreme Lord if it is mentioned in the scriptures, if he has all the attributes that we talked about, and all the authorities, they talk about it, and he performs extraordinary activities. That yes, Lord has so many other devatas who are really assisting him, right? And just like in a company, right, there is a CEO and there are so many departments. Similarly, there is a Lord and there are so many departments being taken care by so many devatas, right? So I would request you, I'm really going very fast, but I would request you to read this basics of Bhagavad Gita that we have already given you as a part of the registration, right? You have this book, right? This book. Please read the chapter 2, which really talks about in detail about who is God, how we can really understand the different aspects of God. The next question that we are going to also answer very fast is that, okay, we understand something about God, but who am I? Right? Who am I? I say I'm an Indian, I'm Hindu, oh, I'm from this state, I'm son of so and so, my name is so and so. Oh, I am, maybe I identify myself with what we work, like last time we talked about, what do we eat. But who am I? Or people talk about death. What is this death? What really happens after death? Any answers to all these questions? Can I search myself in Google or ChatGPT or Gemini? I can get so much of information from there. But can I search myself? Can I search myself there? Is this search engine so powerful? Huh? How can I know? Huh? Right? Yes. You heard this story in Janmashtami. Any of you are there? I told this story in Janmashtami. You are there? No? You want to hear this story again? Yes. So, how one point of time there was one farm was there, poultry farm was there, right? And this in this poultry farm, hens they were hatching these eggs, and somehow one fine day, this hen found that there was one special egg was there. Wow! Because one eagle was really flying, and somehow once that eagle was really flying, that eagle also had some motherly affection, and somehow that egg dropped, and because there was a lot of hay particles were there, and somehow it didn't break, and it was lying as it is. But this hen, she said, okay, let me kind of hatch all these eggs, right? Over a period of time, all the chicks came out, but then the other special egg was a little bigger. She put extra effort, right, to get that also, right? A special chick, and the special chick, it was also going around along with other chicks, doing chick, 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 finding the small grains everywhere, right? And then, as this special, that black color, right, special chick, it was going around, and I was thinking that, oh, I want to fly. All the other chicks nearby were saying, you'll kill yourself. You'll be dead if you start flying. We are just meant to do. That's what we are meant to do. But then somehow or other, as this eaglet was really growing up, I was thinking that I have something, some special power, some special talent. I want to fly. And then, seeing that, the farmer realized that, oh, this is not just a chick, ordinary chick, right? But this is an eagle. This is meant to fly. And so the farmer took that bird into the branch and said, oh, now you fly. What happened? It fell down because of the association of the chicks. And after repeated attempts, then what happened? It starts flying. Right? So what is the essence of the story? Essence of the story is that sometimes we start trying to understand who are we. We start going to a Bhagavad Gita course. Then others think, ये उम्र है क्या भगवद गीता पढ़ने का? Right? Why do you have to really learn all this? This is not the time for it to learn. Oh, I want to really connect myself to the Lord. नहीं, ये सब blind faith है. People kind of, if see how the creation it is. We have urge to drink, there is some water. You have urge for hunger, there is some food. And you have also urge to admire, to respect, to love someone. That's why, because if you don't have anyone, right person, then we start worshipping so many other people. You're getting our point? Right? So, Yes, the essence is to understand who are we. Because see, in a company also, once you go there, oh, first, your name is given, your designation is given, right? And then JD is given, the job description, isn't it? And based on the designation, there is a specific job description is attached to it. Right? If somebody has joined as a vice president, can he take the role of an analyst and work it like that? No. Right? Similarly, Lord has created so many living entities. Lord has also created human being. Can this human being do the roles and responsibility of an animal and live as it is? No. So first of all, what do you need to do? What is my roles and responsibility? Who am I? Have I joined as a VP or have I joined as an analyst? Have I joined in the finance department or I have joined in the sales department? I need to really understand my identity. So before doing anything, so it's not that Bhagavad Gita has to be learned at the end of our life. When there is nothing, no energy here. It has to be learned in the beginning of the life so that we understand who are we and we have to act accordingly. Is it clear? Yes. Yes. And then now let's understand what is our identity, right? Because as we really grow up, like there's a Professor Pfeiffer, right? He says that over 7 years, none of our atoms or the particles of the cell remains after 7 years. This whole body is changing as we grow up. From the child to the boyhood or to the adult or the old man, the body is changing. We don't remain same. Right? Or one person dies, another person is born somewhere. Right? Or is it that we are just a bag of flesh and bones? Right? Like somebody, we say that, okay, what is this? What is this? This is my hand. What is this? My head. This is my nose. And if somebody asks, you say that is my hand, my head, my nose. But who are you? This is mine. Right? This is my head. This is not me. Is it me? No. This is my body. Then who am I? You understand the difference? हम बोलते हैं मैं सुन रहा हूं मतलब क्या है? Is it that I'm hearing through my ear? But who is hearing? Who is hearing? Who is hearing that? Right? The same dead person is there. Right? He has also the ears. He has also the nose. He's able to hear. He's able to, kind of get that fragrance. Is he getting it? He has the same characteristics, same properties, same, chemicals are there. Right? Is it not? What is the difference? Like you see a person and then suddenly somebody is living because of some cardiac arrest or something like that. There is no change after a couple of minutes. What is change? Then you say, oh, chale gaye. Oh, mar gaye. He's dead. He's no more. Right? Right? Oh, gayo. Right? Like in different languages, you might say different things. But who is that person who has left? Who is that left? Yes. 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 We need to really understand. This is a very simple principle that Prabhupada, he gives this analogy. Yes, we see a car, there is a driver. Okay, we may say there's an autonomous driver also. But in autonomous driver also, somebody is really has put that algorithm to really run it. Right? Right? Yes. Right? Yeah. We talk about computer, there is an operator. Right? Right? Yes. It's not that like one male computer, another female computer, one male mobile, female mobile, they come together, then they produce one more. Is it possible? No. This body is not just a machine. And this body is really dead. This body is dead. This is just, this doesn't have any value. Right? But then, because there is some spiritual entity is there, that's why, all these body parts are really enlivened. Is it complex to understand? Right? Yes. That's what the Bhagavad Gita, this is the first lesson that Lord is giving to Arjuna. Yes, especially all our kids, they learn this verse. I would request all of you to learn this verse as well. Please repeat. Dehinosmin yatha dehe Kaumaram yavanam jara Tatha dehantara prapte Dhiras tatra namohyati. So as a person is passing from different stages of the life, right? Yes, the soul remains same. There is one entity that remains same. That's why it is said that yes, we are not human beings with a spiritual experience, but we are spiritual beings with a human experience. We need to really understand that, right? We cannot make the parrot happy just by polishing the case. Just giving a nice food, can this body be happy? Can have a nice house, can this soul be happy? Right? Because that's what we are doing. That's why this whole society is all about khao piyo moj karo, but still heart is so empty because we are not feeding to the parrot. We are just polishing the case. We are taking care of the body with a nice dress, with nice costumes, with nice perfumes. But have we really understood that? Why? Right? So big celebrities. Why? Mentally, emotionally, they are so corrupt. They are so, so much of vacuum is there. Why it is so? Because just they have been polishing the case. Right? Yes. Yeah, and, they are taking care of the fuel of the car, but not the driver. Right? But then we really understood from this Bhagavad Gita that how there is a soul which is there, and which we are, and then it is covered by something called gross body, something subtle body. Just like a person wears a three-piece suit, there is an outer suit and there is an inner suit. Similarly, all this body, right, is called made up of earth, water, bhumi, apa, analo, vayu, kham, mana, buddhi, rivacha. And this kham, mana, buddhi, this is a subtle body. So all this, we'll be discussing very much in detail in our subsequent sessions. But in this crash course, we would say, we're just going a little faster. Please bear with us. So as we are understanding, yes, 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 it's called Kham Mana Buddhi. This is there in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, right, once you talk about reincarnations, right, so you understand the soul and body concept. This is a very basic concept, but very important concept. But if you understand this, we'll see there is so much benefit of it. This reincarnation, this Punarjanma, is just a religious sentiment? Right? Is it religious sentiment? नहीं, ये हिंदू लोग ही मानते हैं पुनर्जन्म. Of course, मानते हैं, उसके बाद क्या करते हैं उसको वो बात अलग है. Right? If you understand it, right? But what is the use of it? Right? Right? So yes, some of you might have heard, some might have seen a movie. What is that movie? कुछ साल पहले आया था, Om Shanti Om, and all that movies, right? We go under, go for entertainment, but we don't really understand the science behind this incarnation. Right? That how there was this. Okay, because we don't have time. Right? We could have really shown. Right? So. Okay, maybe we'll just show you one clip. Okay, I'll just show you one quick clip. This is.
Christina's daughter's onward soul a heart will not restart. She has just minutes before her brain too shuts down. This will open defibrillator. We're trying to jumpstart her heart with the defibrillator. Gleichzeitig. We gave her several drugs. Medikamente. The patient had lost too much blood. Her organs weren't getting it. We really didn't think we could save her. Because Christina's heart has stopped pumping, many would consider her dead. Yet something seems to be happening with her mind.
Das nächste, was ich wieder weiß, ist, ja, dass ich wohl unter der
Next thing I know, I was hovering underneath the ceiling of the room. I could see down myself laying on the operating table. And I saw the surgeons and heard them talking to each other. The scenario was pretty hectic. I realized that this was about life or death.
To help understand near-death experiences, some researchers focus on the
Okay. Anything you heard it? You understood? What you understood?
But soul was watching.
Yes, yes. And this is like we didn't because we wanted to give all the flavors, right? Logically, analytically, scientifically. That's why we quoted some scientific articles from here, so that you can really understand that this is not just sentiment, right? There is a science that there is a soul, right? And then there are so many reincarnations examples are also there. If you just search Dr. Jan Stevenson, he has some thousands of cases how he has really proved that okay, there was somebody and right, and how he has some past memories, he gains some past memories and so on, right? Because that's what in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grunati naroparani tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. This is chapter 2, verse number 22. It says that very beautifully analogy Lord Krishna is giving to Arjuna. He's saying that what is death? Death is nothing but just like one cloth is torn out, we just leave it and we wear another dress. Similarly, the soul also, when this body gets torn out, it leaves that body and it takes another body. That's the death. Why should we really worry about it? If he really understands that, right? If a person, right, if a person really gets so much worried once he's laid off, but then he has already invested nicely on another big startup, will he really worried about it? Right? Yes, exactly the same process. Right? If we have invested all our energy now on that supreme abode, we have already developed that connection, that relationship. We are going back to the supreme abode. Why should we really worry about death? You're getting my point? That how we can really apply these principles. Okay? So yes, the soul, it is mentioned that once again Bhagavad Gita, Nainam chindandi sastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kledayanti apanas. Right? Like soul has so many qualities. It cannot be dried, it cannot be withered by wind, it cannot be burnt by fire, it cannot be moistened by water. The next question somebody might ask that, okay, is it possible that soul can become God? Is it possible? We already answered it, right? But once again, Lord is saying in Bhagavad Gita, because whatever we say, we're not just saying, just out of our own, right? We quote the scriptures. Because last time we discussed, these Vedas are the Opurasayas, right? And Bhagavad Gita is the best of that. Right? Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying, Mama Ipsa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manasasthanindrani Prakritistanira. Always the living entities will remain the part and part. Sanatana, you see the Sanatana is mentioned here. And they will always remain eternal parts and particles. The next question, somebody might ask that, okay, then how can you really connect to the Lord? Right? How a soul can connect, because that's what we understood in the last session. The essence of Vedas, we discussed on three concepts, three words, that concept, that framework we talked about. Anybody remembers? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Provision. Sambandha means to understand who am I, who is the Lord, and how do you really understand our relationship. Abhideya means, right, okay, we understand the relationship, how do you reawaken that relationship? वो जागृत कैसे करेंगे वो relationship को, right? That is called the process of bhakti. And then once we re-establish that relationship, what we will get? The result is the love of Godhead. But then how does it start? How the soul will connect to the Lord? Right? Yes, there are so many, last time while answering a question, we were discussing about that. Just like a kid, kid studies because of fear or with a desire to, get some toffee from the parents, or, oh, parents are doing so much, let me do as a matter of duty, thoda main to kuch kar leta hu. But then fourth level is what? Love. Right? Yes, I love to study maths. I love to study science. Who do you think will score the highest and who will be the successful in the life? Yes. This is like similarly, once we approach the Lord, we don't really approach the Lord with some fear that ये नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा सब कुछ inauspicious हो जाएगा, अमंगल हो जाएगा. या ये कर रहे हैं कि हम ये नारियल फोड़ेंगे तो हमको ये मिलेगा, नहीं. और ये doing it, oh, we are getting so much, थोड़ा सा गणपति के दिन थोड़ा half day fasting रख लेते हैं. Right? No, a devotee comes to the Lord out of the love. Right? That's why Prabhupada says that the individual soul is a forever servant of the super soul, and therefore his relationship with the super soul is to offer service to the Lordships. Right? And once we talk about this love, this is a big topic, right? As we go subsequently we'll talk about it. But today is also a very special day. Today is the day of Radha Ashtami, right? And yes, she really kind of is the personification of that love. Right? She is really telling us how to serve the Lord. How to serve the Lord. Right? Yes, so many people misunderstand. Right? But then as we go deeper, really understand that, she is telling us, Praghada Premarais, Swabhava Acha, Nija Dukha Bignadre Nakare Vichar, how as a, all the gopis, all the Radharanis, they would not think anything else. Their only aim is to please Krishna. Please Krishna. Yes, just to summarize it today, what we heard today, right? We just understood what is Gita. What is Gita? Gita. Okay, please remember this beautiful acronym that you have learned today. What is Gita? Yes, we are not all in all. There is a God, there is a control. That's what we discussed in the first section, right? Is there any God? Who is a God? And so on, right? And then we discussed the second part. This body is not in all. There is a soul. And then this lifetime is not all in all. There are many more lifetimes existed in the past, and they will exist in the future. That's why the aim of the life should be not to do enjoy Madi, but to really ensure that how do you really do bhakti, how do you really serve the Lord. Because love means to please, and to please means to serve. Yes, we want to love the Lord. Want to love means we want to please the Lord. Want to please the Lord means you have to serve the Lord. Right? Yes, this is our essence. So I would request all of you, right? Yes, if too many concepts that we have today, you are not able to remember, then yes, and too many things, that we want to forget. And I would say that, okay, this is the essence of sutras. Right? 2 things you want to forget. Yes, please forget. If somebody has done any bad to you, you forget that. If somebody has, why? Because yes, it's just a matter of time in the plan of eternity. Whatever somebody has done, right, it's not worth, taking into our head. Just, forget and forgive and move on. Yes, we'll talk about these principles much later, right? But then, yes, and whatever good you have done to others, please forget that also. Otherwise, it brings that Ishwari bhav, that aham and mama bhav again and again. But these 2 things you should always remember. That death can come at any point of time. There's a final exam that can come at any point of time. We should be prepared for it, right? Yes, layoff can happen at any point of time. We should be prepared for it, right? Similarly, the exam can happen at any point of time. We should be prepared for it, right? Isn't it? Yes. It should not happen that in the last moment of our, when the last breath is going, then we repent. Oh, I could have done this, because this pain of regret is much more unbearable than the pain of discipline. The pain of discipline in connecting the Lord, right? You must think, oh, kaun subah uthega, ye Bhagavad Gita padhega, or ye mala karega and all that, right?
What is the second thing to remember?
Yes, chanting the holy names. So on this day of Radhastami, on the second session, I would really like to give a gift to you. Would like to accept this gift?
Yes.
I see some are very reluctant even to accept a gift as well. Are you ready to accept the gift? Yes. What is that gift? God in your fingertip. What is that?
God in my fingertip.
Yes. Just, we have already, whoever have registered, they have already received a chanting bead. And what do you have to do? Just Naam Jap. You have to just take the Lord's holy name. The same Lord, right? We all talk about that same Lord can be accessed through the holy names of the Lord. This is such a simple process. But sometimes we ask that, oh, and how do you really get a faith in all this what we talked about? We say there is a 5-step process, right? We hear that, oh, some medicine works, or something is very nice, the whole advertisement industry, they really also follow the same thing. What they say? First you have to hear about it. First you hear about it. And then you observe that, okay, somebody had this problem, somebody took this medicine and it worked. You observe it. And then, does that really help you? No. What do you have to do? You have to practice it. You have to take that medicine. And then, once you practice it, then you will experience it. Oh, it really works. Without doing it, can I really experience it? It's not possible. And then once you experience it, please do ensure that you share it as well. That's why, you see all our kids who are 8 or 10-year-old kids, right? How so enthusiastically they were sharing the glories of the Lordships. They were enthusiastically sharing the glories of the Lordships, or the devotees of the Lord, right? Yes, because they were getting that taste They were already connected to the super soul. Right? Yes. This is the really benefit of really understanding these concepts. Right? Right? How, right, a person can really go beyond. Like some person might be fasting all day, and all our volunteers, especially on the day of Janmashtami, they would be fasting all day without even drinking water. How they get so much of energy? How? Right? A person doesn't afraid of death. Doesn't afraid of the dualities of the life. Like the Socrates you have heard, when he was given that hemlock poison, he said, oh, first you have to find me, then you have to kill me. A person who really understands this concept, he becomes fearless. And this is a real Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? Especially one, that's what I want to see our Mayapur temple or these temples. You will see the people from all over the world. That's the real United Nations. But in the other United Nations, of course, there's a always flag. Nobody cares about United Nations. There is some person, right, some lunatic who says that, okay, you have to just follow me. Otherwise, I'll put tariff. Right? There is no use of that. Right? Right? But real understanding is this one. But for that, if you want to Ram Rajya, first you have to understand supremacy of Ram. Right? Then we have to understand who are we and how we to serve him. And then you have to just accept this gift of the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Any questions, comments? I know we covered a lot of topics today. So what I would do that, just anyway, you are sitting in some groups. Can we just share your thoughts for a couple of minutes, right? What you have really understood. We said, like, if you might have seen our pamphlet that we had given in your Gita course, we said reflect, release, and resolve. Reflect means what are the points that were discussed? What are the few points, right? Okay, it was just 2 points that you really liked, that you really touched your heart. And that is the one principle that you would like to apply in your life. That you want to resolve that from today, from this auspicious day of Radhashtami, that I have come in a satsang and I want to apply one principle in my life. I just reflect what are the points we have discussed in just 2-3 minutes, and then we just say, okay, what really touched my heart, right? And then what the one principle that I want to apply in my life. Can you just do it in 2-3 minutes? Okay? Can you just sit in a group? Okay, Prabhuji, we have already in the group. Can you just sit together?